MMA Fighting News, Video 1. What's up, everybody? Rob here from MMA Fighting News, and today we're talking 3 guys I think can beat Khabib Nurmagomedov. So we're all just coming down off this weekend. The pay-per-view was this weekend, Conor versus Khabib, and it really wasn't what I'd kind of hoped it would be. I guess I was kind of hoping Conor would knock Khabib from the ranks of the unbeaten. But that's what's inspired me to make this video, because I'm going to list off 3 guys that I believe can beat Khabib, and if they can't do it, then I'm not sure anyone can. Now, I want to preface the following statements by saying that this is my opinion based on these guys' ground game and or wrestling ability. So obviously the first one is Tony Ferguson, and Tony claims that both Conor and Khabib have been dodging and ducking fighting him. He's just returned from an injury and had an impressive victory over this past weekend's pay-per-view as well. So let's listen to Tony right now in his own words.
Fucking champ. You guys realize that, right? I've been the champ. I am the champ. You have these 2 knuckleheads over there making this sport look bad. So when I had that media scrum over there and I yelled at all you guys, don't be feeding that bullshit. Straight up. I am the champ. I don't have a belt up here. I don't need to have a belt up here to be the champ. So if you guys want to feed that, go ahead, put that in your pocket and take it with you. But what I'm doing here is cleaning up the sport. This is an Olympic level type of sport, and it needs to be cleaned up. I've been training like an Olympian. I've took so many different things out of my life that I didn't need anymore, and I just felt lifted. So awesome. Such a great feeling.
Well, and you mentioned the main event. It seemed like you would be in line for the winner. I mean, that would be the fight that makes sense. After what you just saw, help us understand what should come next. I mean, there's people saying Khabib should be stripped for his actions. There's other people saying, put a rematch together because it'll sell millions on pay-per-view. Give us an idea of what you saw, what you thought of it, and what it should mean for you.
Khabib and I deserve to fight. We need to fight for the 5th time. We need to try this out again. He is the champ. I was the interim champ. I'm still the fucking champ. There's no BS in this. Conor does not want to fight me. I saw him when we were walking out to the weigh-ins. He walked up, he did his strut. I turned around and he fucking stopped. He looked like a deer in headlights. Nobody wants to be trapped inside that cage with me. They don't want to get cut by my elbows. They don't want to get hit by any of my kicks, and they don't want their conditioning checked by me. I'm a different animal than these guys. They want to be animals inside there. I'm the dog catcher, guys.
Then the second guy that I think could possibly beat Khabib would be Kevin Lee. Now, I've heard Kevin Lee say Khabib has holes in his game on several different occasions. I'm going to go ahead and play a snippet right now of one of those occasions, and this was recently.
Just my head telling me that. I see the same holes in Khabib. I think he's just going to walk him into a left hand. Khabib just going to try and grab a hold of him. But his setups just ain't there. He's not really as complete of a fighter. If he get him to the ground, it's a different story. Game might be over. But I just see a knockout from Conor.
So this is not the first time I've heard Kevin say Khabib has holes in his wrestling. And, in order to beat him, you're going to have to be able to beat him with a ground game. And with that ground game, that's going to include wrestling. That's going to include Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So it'd be nice to see Khabib get knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. And then the third guy that I think could beat Khabib would be Nate Diaz. And the reason I believe that is because Nate is strong on the ground. He's strong on his back. He's shown that he can strike. He could strike with Conor, because remember the fight that he choked Conor out in, they exchanged some pretty severe punches, and everybody's always making a big deal out of what a quality striker Conor McGregor is, but Nate rocked him in that fight before they eventually went to the ground, and Nate choked him out. So, and I would argue that Conor didn't even win the second fight against Nate Diaz, but it went to the judges' scorecards, and he won by decision. But I don't necessarily agree with that after watching both fights consecutively. I'm not so sure that Nate didn't win the second time against Conor. But anyway, I believe Nate Diaz could beat Khabib. So I'm saying that if Khabib can be defeated, it'll be one of these three men that beat him. And if they don't do it, I'm not sure anybody will, to be honest with you. Because if he gets in there with somebody who can strike, you know, he showed in the Conor fight that he can strike fairly well, and before that he showed in the Al Iaquinta fight that he could strike fairly well, but that's not his strongest game. His strongest game is on the ground. So if we're being honest with ourselves, then, you know, we know that to be true. So if you guys disagree with my opinion, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next video. Later.